We've been talking about a new unit called Interaction of Ideas, and today we're looking at prediction of outcomes, predicting outcomes, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And kind of the big clue that you need to remember is that when you read a text, you got to look for clues for what might happen next, and continue to try to think about what the logical process is from what you're reading. So let's take a look at um, predicting outcomes and read along with me here as we go through some examples before you do some work on your own. When you read a text, the author gives you information. It's important to use this information to think ahead. This means you think about what might happen next. When you use information to think ahead, you predict something. And what does it mean to predict? It means that you think of something that might happen based on information that you know. For example, suppose it's bright and a sunny morning. You plan to meet your friends at the park that afternoon, but then the sky starts to fill with dark gray clouds. And you can predict that the meeting your friends that afternoon at the park might not happen. Why? Because you know the dark gray clouds bring rain. You know that you plan to meet your friends at the park, which is outside, and that makes you think that the rain will probably ruin your plans. To predict the outcome of a text, it's important to look for clues. Many times the clues will give you an idea of what's going to happen next. Let's look at this paragraph together. The students wanted more vegetables in their school lunches. They decided to plant a garden behind the school. They asked their teachers to help them dig up the ground. Many students brought seeds and planted them. Everyone helped give the seeds water and pull weeds. It was like a garden club. Soon small green plants began to grow. What do you think might happen next? Well, look at the clues the author put in the text. You know the students wanted more vegetables in their school lunches. You know they planted a garden. You know that everyone helped and small plants began to grow. And you can think ahead and predict that the students grew fresh vegetables in the garden. Then they used the vegetables to make school lunches. Let's look at this next paragraph together. Ethan sat down at the kitchen table. He saw that there was a new white rug on the floor under the table. He poured a glass of juice for himself. It was purple grape juice, his favorite. As he reached across the table to take a piece of bread, his arm knocked over the glass. As you read, think about what might happen next. Use the clues the author put in the text. You know Ethan sat at the table. You know there was a new white rug underneath the table. You know Ethan knocked over his glass, which had purple grape juice in it. And when liquid is spilled, you know it drips down, not up. You can think ahead and predict that the grape juice will drip onto the rug. So the new white rug will probably have a purple stain on it. Thinking ahead to predict what will happen makes reading more interesting. Thinking ahead also helps you remember important ideas of the text. So now you're going to do a couple of on your own. You're going to get out of this video and go into the practice quiz that has interaction of ideas, predicting outcomes, and read the paragraphs. And you're going to select the best answer that will give you the most likely prediction of what happens next in a reading. As always, I'll be on the Zoom and I will be answering any questions that you guys may have.